Hey recruiters, Jennifer Tardy here, and you're watching Diversity Recruiter Central, the home of all things that diversity recruiters need to know, except how to do those ridiculous Boolean string searches. You will never learn that on this channel. Now, in today's video, I am giving you barriers hidden in recruitment processes that you may not have known about that you can also remove that will easily help you to increase workplace diversity easily. Now, you don't want to miss this. I love this topic, and I hope that you will love it just as much as I do. Now, make sure you watch all the way through because I always give my bonus segment, which is the Diversity Recruiter 911 segment. Recruiters ask, I answer. You ask the questions, I answer those questions, and I don't want you to miss that. So let's get it started. Okay, now candidates only fall out of the hiring process in one of two ways. They're either rejected out of the hiring process or they withdraw from the hiring process. Now, this video will show you the step-by-step processes to find those places where people are being rejected the wrong way, or they're withdrawing because of some bad experience, and some strategies to help finding and removing those barriers along the way. Now, I always recommend that when you begin looking at data, that you bring your attorney into the conversation as well, because if you find things like adverse impact, you must be willing to do something about it. This is the number one reason organizations do not want to do the hard things, such as look at what the data suggests about hidden barriers in their own recruitment processes. But I tell you that if you follow these steps and you look at your own data, if you truly want to increase workplace diversity, looking at your own data to see if there are some hidden barriers, this is one of the best videos that I think can really help an organization to move forward in the right direction. My next note too is also, if you can find a data analyst, definitely bring them into the fold too, because when you start looking at data, it can be a lot, and data analysts who are used to looking at data constantly can help you to make sense out of the data that you're about to look at as well too. So step number one is to run a report, and do not, and I mean do not, look at this year's data. You should not have any access to current demographic data of candidates. And so you hear me saying that. You will continue to hear me saying that all the time. Now, if you have an applicant tracking system, I highly recommend that you look in the past, the last 3 to 4 years of data, or maybe even your data analyst can make a recommendation to you on how many years of data that you should probably look at when you're looking to see the demographics of the candidates who have gone through your process. And when I mean the demographics, think about if you have a self-identification process where when people are applying to your positions, you are asking them at that time to self-identify, whether they self-identify race, whether they self-identify military status, whether they self-identify disability, whatever you ask them to self-identify, that's going to be the data that we're going to use to scroll through this process. Now, one of the things that I do want to mention to you is that many candidates will not self-identify in the process, and that is okay. That is why we want to look at the previous 3 to 5 years of data, because hopefully it's going to give us more data to be able to use. And it works well if you already have this data stored within some sort of applicant tracking system. So make sure that you already have that and run the data, and with your data analyst and with your attorney, look at the results. Step number 2, segment your data from your applicant tracking system by the points in the hiring process, or the main steps in the hiring process, from submitting the application, the initial phone screen, the hiring manager phone interview, the final on-site interview, when you make the selection decision, when they take an offer, or when they get an offer, take an offer, or accept an offer. Whatever your hiring process includes, make sure that those integral steps in the process, you segmented your data out by that. Your goal when looking at this data is to find out what is happening from one step in your hiring process to the next step, to the next step, to the next step? Do you start off with a large pool of underrepresented candidates, and that pool trickles down? That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted to be able to do, and you want to be able to find out which step in the process is actually happening. Now, this is a good time for me to remind you that we have another great video. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to go and check out this video. It's the video where it's episode number 7, 3 reasons companies are losing diverse candidates in the process, and that is connected to this step right here. Maybe there's something that's happening within your overall hiring process that's creating barriers, whether, unintentional barriers that you've never even thought were actually happening, which takes me into step number 3. Now, once you've segmented everything out, now analyze this data. What does this data suggest? Bring all of the information that you've retrieved from the previous steps and look at what you found in the data. Are you noticing, for instance, that more women are applying to the position, but they can't seem to get through the phone interview? Right? So what's happening during the phone interviewing process? Maybe we have people with disabilities who are unable to progress from the on-site interview to getting an actual offer. What's happening in that part of the process? So look at the data, determine what the data is suggesting. But once you're analyzing the data, the biggest key to this step is to make sure that you're having the right conversations with the leaders in your organization. Be prepared, because the business needs to truly be able to understand this data and how it's affecting your ability to increase workplace diversity. I know that sounds like a lot. To me, it's very exciting because I love to be able to see what data suggests overall, but being able to uncover this can really open the floodgates for you and your organization. Now, refer back to a previous video where we were talking about quickly being able to create an applicant pool, our last video that we have out there, to see how you can use the results to create more diversity into your overall applicant pool. So don't forget to check out this video, and I hope that you enjoyed that video as well. Now that I've walked you through how to find and analyze your data, I want you to do just that. I'm also available if you need a consultant to help you to walk through this process as well too. Again, I love doing this with organizations, but I do want to move on to my favorite segment, which is the Diversity Recruiter Central 911 segment, where recruiters ask and me, yes, I answer the questions. Now, in this question, we had someone ask a question, how do you connect diversity and inclusion hiring to the bottom line? You see how often I get this question, and I think that it's really, really important because I've been saying in previous videos that you need to connect it to the bottom line. You need to connect it to the bottom line, So now they're asking me, like, how do you connect it to the bottom line? And so I'll share what I shared in last week's video. I'll ask, how does your business, how does your company make money? So even if you're in a nonprofit, it's really important to understand that your company still has to make money. They have to earn revenue, even if it's from, taking donations from people, because that money helps to keep the lights on and helps to pay your paycheck. So don't think for a second that just because you're working for a nonprofit, you may not be out to get a profit, but you're out to get revenue. So the question becomes, understand how your business makes money. Now, once you understand how your business makes money, I need you to understand who your customer is, right? And so because of globalization, the look of our customers is changing overall. The look of our customers is becoming way more diverse. Our customers are demanding more diversity within organizations. Plus, there are a lot of articles and statistics and data and research that has been done again and again and again that boards with more diversity produce better revenue for the organization, that company workplaces that have more diversity creates more engaged workers in the company. Plus, it also creates more better ideas that go toward the bottom line to increasing revenue in the organization. There are so many reasons why, but you first have to understand who your customers are, how your company makes money, and then take that research and connect it to your organization overall. And then you're going to be able to find that that diversity helps to produce better products and better services overall within the organization, and helps your company to remain competitive in an ever globally changing society. So I hope that that answers your question overall. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you've gained a clear understanding of what you need to do step by step to really find out what the barriers are that are hidden within your hiring process. Once you start to look at each step of the process and find out where you're losing applicants, it is a great idea to embed proactive measures that help people to get through those processes. So, for example, if you find that that people of color are not making it past actually getting to the first step, the phone interviews, meaning that there could be something related to how resumes are being created, or there's something related to how they're filling out an application that's causing them to not get a second look by a recruiter, then maybe a proactive measure could be your recruiters or someone in your HR team doing community resume building sessions, or what are some best practices to get a resume seen at your organization. So it's things like that that you can embed to help your organization to move people through the process more. So to that end, there are some other innovative ways that you can help to increase workplace diversity. Download the free guide in the details section below, because that is going to give you some great tips. And as always, I appreciate being able to come and deliver these messages to you. I cannot wait to come back next week and deliver the next video to you. And in the meantime, I'm Jennifer Tardy. I am your diversity recruiting leader. This is Diversity Recruiter Central, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.
Hey recruiters, if you like this video, we have others coming your way each Thursday. So subscribe to our channel and click the bell to be notified as new videos get posted. Don't forget, leave us your recruiter questions for a chance to be spotlighted in an upcoming video. Don't forget about our other channel for job seekers. And as always, in order for our workplaces to be underrepresented no more, we all have to listen, engage, apply, repeat, now, learn. I'll talk to you next time.